There's an underlying racist tone to this, and the fact of the matter is that people of color, this is a people's park. I mean, anybody of color should be able to come to this park. But districts and different zones, I mean, compared to other areas of Troy, this is Camp Candy.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. And your District 2, you said?
Yes.
And I don't know what district that is, so I'm not going to
So that's
lie.
over in Central?
You're North Central?
Yes.
Is that District 2?
Yeah.
I get it. You know,
I'm on 118th and Second in Lansing,
okay.
where bullets ring out every day.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
she's on 6th and Glen, where bullets ring out every day.
Yep, I get it. I get it. So, and I understand that is, to you, this is Camp Candy. As a business owner, it's, you know, it consumes hours of my day. Hours of my day. In which I don't want it to. I want it to be a place that people can frequent.
Right.
But if I step foot over there, they tell me to get out. Realistically.
They threaten me.
They tell me to get out. This isn't your park. Get out.
The language.
So.
I mean, I'm not approved, but the language.
Yeah.
Screaming it out so that when her customers pull up, start to get out of the car, listen to that, they get back in the car and drive away.
And I watch even some of the people that live, some of my neighbors. They won't even walk by the park because they're scared. I was just on the phone with somebody that lives on 4th around the corner. She goes, I will walk down Broadway and up 3rd to come to the hardware store so I can avoid walking by that park because I don't feel safe. And I said that to them. The reason they didn't want to remove the benches and take action was because then it falls on the city's hands. That park becomes the city's responsibility. Absolutely. He didn't. I have been asking him for the last 6 months, come have lunch in that park. Haven't seen your ass on that seat.
Wow.
Have not seen your
We
butt on that
haven't seen his
seat.
ass in about a year.
Yeah, no kidding. So
is he even in Troy?
And I said to him in the last conversation last week, I said, I get it now, and the light bulb went off. I go, you hit the nail on the head. You don't want to remove those benches to start a process of healing because now you're responsible for that park. I go, whereas those benches being in that park and it being as bad as it's been for the last whatever, made it the police's responsibility because the police weren't doing their job. I go, those benches come out. It's now not the police's problem. It's your problem, and you don't want it to be your problem. And that's where I said, I get it. I go, you just made it crystal clear. I go, you know what? Those benches are out, and now it's your problem. Now the city has to address it and deal with the problem. So again, it's a temporary fix to a deeper systemic problem. I get that, but it's the same thing as putting your toddler in timeout at this point in time. We have to start there. Hopefully all my emails have been responded to. They have been replied to from everybody in the mayor's office.
The racial undertone is very clear, and it goes to prove that, you know, the city officials and the councilmen and the councilwomen set the undertone, and it's being followed by the local business district. And the fact that they're quiet and that there's a racial undertone it's really alarming. The fact of the matter is these people have nowhere to go. They have no programs. The city of Troy don't accept that.
It's also disturbing. The fact is that that the business owner that we just spoke to feels that the benches being removed from this park is as of toddlers being punished. These aren't toddlers. These are citizens of a city. These are community members of a city. And these aren't only just community members, these are prominently African-American community members. And I feel that the racial discrimination from the city of Troy and the business owners in the downtown Troy business district, it just trickles down, just like trickle-down economics. And it's as simple as that. Is wrong? Because that's what they're doing right now. We tried to reach out to the city officials, Mayor Madden, and a few common council members. I tried to speak to Ms. McPherson and Carmella, and they've refused to answer. It's just been silence on their part. We got one general statement that says it was a collaborative between business partners in the city of Troy, or business owners in the city of Troy, and the city.
Well, again, like I said, when the files brought
the Stanley building,
Yeah.
which was what, 20 years ago, they fought to have benches put into the park. 10 years later, they were fighting to get rid of the benches because people, their tenants were looking out and seeing people doing drugs, urinating, dropping their drawers, you know, business.
No, absolutely. I didn't want to interrupt. Do you have any ideas to fix the situation possibly as a business owner? Do you have any ideas to bring forth that I could possibly lay out to the city? That's why I'm coming here as a community member to
What do you
ask.
mean to fix it,
Well, we obviously don't want the park closed because it is a park.
right?
And we obviously want the benches because people should be able to sit in a park
Well,
without a situation occurring.
Well, then you know you bark up the wrong tree here because, like I said, for 40 years it's been nothing but trouble. You know, I have customers come in and you know, is it okay? Is it okay to come down? Is the park all right? You know, and if you sit, you know, like the problem is nobody sees it.
Right.
You have to sit here and watch it day after day after day. I watch drug deals go across the street right out in the open. I watch a guy walk up, just drop his drawers, takes a leak right in the middle of the street, right during the day. You know, nobody sees it, you know, except for the people, the businesses on the block.
Right.
So, you know, all the other politicians, they always bring the benches back, and because, you know, they just have no clue what's going on.
That's why I'm here. I want to know, obviously, I've been here every day since the benches were removed. I see the problems. I've been watching the problems. I see drug deals going on. I see
Right.
people using drugs, urinating. But the city gave the people's permission to bring their own chairs. So doesn't that defeat the purpose of
Yes,
removing?
it does. Yeah. So I saw the chairs and I would just shook my head.
Right.
You know, it makes no sense. Take the benches out and you let them bring chairs. You
Do
know?
you feel like they should close the park completely?
No. Why can't you just make it a walk-through park?
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, they got flowers and stuff. You just walk through it and enjoy the flowers. They got the park over there for the kids. They can enjoy that.
Yeah.
You know, but again, I mean, nobody goes over there, sits down, eats their lunch. You know, people that you know go over there usually get thrown out from the other people.
Yeah.
You
I was
know?
hearing that as a consensus as well, which do you feel
It's their park.
You feel
It's not your park. It's their park.
do you feel like the power that the people in that park have gotten is because of the lack of policing in this community?
No, I mean, what can they do? Unless they sit there all day long. I mean, they come by, they move them along, they walk around the block.
5 years ago, the city of Troy removed its community policing, which would allow officers to get on the street, walk the streets, get to know the community.
Right.
If that program was still accessible, do you feel, or
Yeah.
available, do you feel like it
It
would
might,
come?
might help, sure. I mean, police on the street, definitely. How can that not help?
Right.
You know, the more
Instead of
I
a
see-
$197 million budget to the police department, do you feel that these people who are homeless and drug users should have diversion programs such as a halfway house for them to go to, or because the only homeless shelter in the city of Troy is Joseph's house.
So I got the one in Lansingburg also.
Oh, the Phoenix house, but they work on sliding scales where you would have to be drug free in order to go, and you would have to, and if you even remotely look high, they refuse housing, which then you're back on the street. Whereas in a halfway house would promote a drug program, it would promote sober living, and with consequences if they obviously use drugs, but it wouldn't be an immediate removal to the street. It would be an intervention program.
Right.
You know, I feel like those programs should be brought here because in the city of Troy they have them. There's only one male house and one female house for a halfway house, and that's the Elizabeth House, and I forgot what the male, I think it's St. Peter's Addiction Recovery has a house here, and it's actually ran by Peter Young's too. They're partnered.
Right.
But that's it. That's all we have for
Well, I
drug
mean, that wouldn't hurt, but then again, you're gonna get, who wants it next to them? You know? I mean, Madden's not gonna wanna put next to his house, right?
Right, but
Carmelo's not gonna wanna.
where
put
has
their
Madden
house.
been for the last
Exactly.
year, right?
Well, yeah,
That's the
I
consensus I've
agree
seen from business. You
100%.
don't see him, maybe if he would have seen the problems, if he come down here, maybe have lunch
Well,
with the business owners.
The problem is, they don't consider this downtown. The downtown is up more where Monument Square is, you know?
Yeah.
They don't even do parking down here. They don't even enforce parking.
Ah.
Park in front of my shop all day long, it's supposed to be half hour.
That's
you know?
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, so it's just, you know, we've been here 112 years, the business, 1908 it was established. So again, I mean, I don't see much what's going on because I'm by myself and I'm, you know, while we're
Yeah.
looking back. But again, it's always been a problem. I mean, Robin sees it all day long, you know, like when I go out and stand and look outside, it's very easy to see, you know, and it's like yesterday it was, you know, they were all hanging across the street selling drugs, not in the park, but right across from Robin's. I don't know if they were doing that on purpose because they know she complains.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try and come up with a plan for the city. Obviously, that's why I'm coming to business owners, talking to them, trying to discuss with the city plans for this park, because obviously we don't want to close it.
Right?
You know,
Again, this again, you
yeah.
you know, if you want the benches back, I'm not for that, so I'd be against that.
All right.
Because the bottom line is like when you take the benches out, you know, right now it just happened on Friday because 2 people died over there. They had to bring them back to life. You know, they overdosed. You know, 11 o'clock in the morning. You know, great for the city, I suppose. You know, right in downtown.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, if you're for them, then you know, I'm against them.
Right.
I've been fighting, like I said, for 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
We fought to get them out. Well, we had trees cut down one time. A friend of mine owned Romanatians Jewelers. We were involved in it with Doug across the street. He was the pastor. You know, so we took the benches down, cleaned it up, and then, you know, somebody that lives up on Brunswick wants the benches back. Don't care about what's going on in downtown.
Right.
You know, so they put them back. And then we fought to get them out again. We got them out. And then Files fought to get them back. And then Files realized what a mess it is. So he was on my side to get them out.
Yeah.
As soon as he sold his building, the city came and put him back the next day because he had clout. He had money.
Yeah.
The next day, wow.
The next day, as soon as he sold the building,
Wow.
benches were back. I don't have any money. They don't care about my business. You know, I've been here 112 years. You know.
Wow. And your name was?
I'm Dan.
Dan, I'm Ken again. It was nice meeting you.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you. I had a quick question. I wanted to ask you for a quick statement about the Barker Park and what's going on there.
What's going on here?
Well, the city took out the benches. Your community police were there on the 31st. In regards to the city was removing benches from the park. They removed 10. What?
Public Works people took the benches down?
Recreation, yep, Department of Recreation came down, took the benches out, by order of the mayor, the police were there. I did talk to Rockwell, there, he said it was by order, he said the sergeant told him come down and watch them take out benches.
Sorry.
And I just didn't know if the police had any knowledge of what was going on, if,
I don't have any. I didn't even know the benches were going.
oh
Yeah,
wow.
So wow.
That's news to me.
Right.
Wow.
Where's the order? We're looking
Right,
for the
did
order.
you guys get an email or anything in your inboxes, nothing? So did the city just call you guys up one day and say go watch them take out benches, or like?
Must have called us just to come over there. Maybe there was a group of people, but it had to be Public Works or City Hall that did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Yeah, now, policing that area, have you guys had more patrols recently? Have there been more calls recently about that? Have you known about the drug use? There was 2 overdoses in the area
I'm not really sure.
on Friday. All right.
And I don't know if there's anything specific on our shift, but I don't know. I can't speak for the other shifts because I'm not here.
Okay, so there has, that you know of, no significant issues with Barker Park on your guys' shift?
Nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, obviously we had calls down there, but nothing.
Is it just for disturbances? Like what type of typical calls are there?
I don't know, to be honest. I answer this telephone, doing all that stuff. I don't have time. The road sergeants are the ones that deal with that more.
Do you know what road sergeant's on today?
Yeah, you're never here.
Okay,
Sergeant Hayden? Hi, how are you? Ken Zeoli. Not bad. I was there when they removed the benches from Barker Park, and I'm trying to follow up with the police. He's filming me. Well,
Because it's alright.
I'm documenting everything.
going.
Hold on. I was asking because
the place we get our disturbances in open containers.
that alright, so noise ordinance basically. Alright, do you feel like there's been more problems with the park in the last 6 months, obviously stemming from COVID and stuff like that? Because that's the persuasion that the business owners gave to the city of Troy.
There's more people congregating. So community police addresses it during the daytime hours.
Okay, now do you know who the sergeant for the community police are? Or is that just the day sergeant kind of runs that?
Corella?
Corella? Sergeant Corella? Okay. Thank you so much, Sergeant.
all drink when we go home, whether it's wine, alcohol, beer, it doesn't matter what it is, we still do it.
Yeah.
It could be a cigarette,
Yeah.
it could be a piece of weed, it could be a black amount,
Right.
it could be anything. It could be a vape, but we do it though.
But what?
Everybody's got their thing.
They all got that, we all got our own thing, we're all human. We're all somebody, we're all somebody's child.
What they did to this park is underlying gentrification of systematic
That's a
injustice.
fact.
They
But
racially
you know
profiled
what?
this park and the people
But
that
you
were in
know
it.
what? That's why we have each other though.
You don't
feel
see this.
me?
You don't see them doing this in
We-
Freer Park.
That's what, and they not.
You don't see them doing
That's
this
why
in
we're
Prospect
human,
Park.
though. And we're all gonna be human.
Yeah.
You know why we came from nothing to something. That's why we standing here today.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
Exactly.
That's why we talking.
Right.
We're human. Ain't nobody out here. Whoever gonna judge you, tell them judge themselves. Look in the fucking mirror.
Absolutely.
Sorry, excuse me.
No.
Look in the
But
mirror.
But we are in front of the Hudson Mohawk, one of only 2 drug treatment programs in this area. And I want the city of Troy to understand that we can save so many lives if they just allocate some of these funds and grants to these programs. Open up safe injection spots. I really don't agree with drug use, but however, it's an issue. And we can't sweep this issue under the rug anymore, especially in the city of Troy. So in order to save a couple of lives, invest in these programs. Open up safe injection spots. Open up clean needle exchanges. I mean, it will take just a little bit of time and effort and a little bit of that 197 million that's going to the Troy PD that can't even police correctly, and put it here. Put it in Conifer Park. Put it into some of these dilapidated buildings and rebuild them and make it shelters, halfway houses, injection sites, clean needle exchanges, and make it a wet spot. I don't really agree with drug use, but it is an issue that needs to be addressed and it could save lives. So that's the issue, and we need Patrick Manning to stop, Patrick Madden to stop this, come forward. You were elected to be the people's voice. We're tired of trying to get in contact with you, and then you throw out fluff statements that don't address issues, but you're ready to give it to the police. They don't need it. The city and the residents of Troy need it. The South Central need it. South Troy needs it. I mean, I'm tired of him pacifying issues and sweeping it under the rug. If you can't talk and you can't speak for the people that was elected, that elected you to be in their voice, then get out of office. Give it to someone who's gonna do and make change in Troy. A lot of these issues are about 15 to 20 years old and still to this day are not getting addressed. When are you gonna speak up for the people? Or do the people need to just come on in and just do your job for you, apparently? Thank you.
We're outside the Hudson Mohawk Recovery Center. I came here today to speak on the issues with Barker Park and the drug use at Barker Park. And I feel that the city of Troy is not allocating correct funds that could stem the problems for Barker Park and resolve them with this recovery center or another recovery center such as a methadone clinic known as Conifer Park next to the Unity House in the city of Troy. These programs are in the city for residents to use, but the funding isn't being allocated correctly for these residents to use, and a lot of these programs only accept private insurance. With grant money donated by the city of Troy, allocated from the police funding, which obviously the police haven't been correctly policing Barker Park, I feel that drug use can be brought down. I feel like overdoses can be brought down with programs such as the Hudson Mohawk Recovery Center and Conifer Park, collaborating with the city of Troy to bring out outreach, safe needle exchanges, and other accessible programs that aren't stemming into the city like there should be, like they were created to. I feel like the continuous gentrification of our parks and our citizens and the areas, our areas for citizens to use, is completely disgusting. I feel like Patrick Madden's, the mayor of Troy's office, has disgustedly used this excuse of drug overdoses to dismantle a park. I feel like all this is fluff and excuses. I feel like what needs to be done is corrected political moves. I feel like non-diversified political moves need to be done in the city of Troy. I feel like a lot of this was done systematically for racially, in the city. Prominently, what's going on at Barker Park is prominently African American individuals, and I feel that the city businesses in the area, such as the Counties of Ireland and the Quick Shoe Repair Store, have made it very known and aware that they are not comfortable with the park and that they're not comfortable with the benches, and that they're going to continue to fight for these benches to stay out of the park, where, in a sense, those benches were for the people, because this city is for the people and that park is the people's park.